So today I want to talk a little bit about what I think is the best wedge out there today on the market for most golfers, especially most recreational golfers. And this particular wedge can help you with consistency because it's one of the more forgiving ones out there. You don't have to worry about mishitting it as much, and you're going to get a ton of spin because of the technology that they put into the golf club, which is really cool. I'm super excited about this one. I put it in the bag last year and it has been nothing short of spectacular from day one. I noticed right away that my spin rates were well on par with my other old wedges that were a little bit more unforgiving. And one of the things that I noticed with a lot of the other companies compared to this wedge that I'm about to show you is that most of their wedge designs are pretty unforgiving when you hit the ball off center, okay? So this one, you can hit it a little bit more off center and you're still gonna generate that backspin and have that control around the greens. And that's what every recreational player is looking for. So the wedge that I'm talking about is the Ping Glide 4.0. And it's just the regular version, it's not the tour version. And this one is super forgiving. I absolutely love the feel of it when I'm around the greens, and I can mishit it a little bit, and the ball's still gonna have great control when you're chipping around and trying to get the ball as close to the hole as possible. So, a couple things with this one that I really like. The first thing is they put this coating on the face, and this outer coating on the face, it feels like when you feel it, it feels like it's really grippy and that it's gonna really grab the ball. And I noticed that this is one of the things that was helping me generate a little bit more spin when I started practicing with it. And that was a great thing. The technology behind it is fantastic. Another thing that I really like is they put a weight port in the back of the head, and this stabilizes the club head throughout the entire face. So when you do mishit it, you're still going to keep up those ball speed numbers while generating a ton of spin, which is a huge thing. So when I'm working with recreational players, one of the things that I want to see is that they practice with one wedge and get good, really good with one wedge. And the reason for this is that they just don't have a whole lot of time throughout the week to master multiple wedges. So I get them practicing and mastering one wedge, and this is going to give them the best ability to go out and shoot the lowest number possible by practicing and getting solid with one wedge. Now, when it comes to the loft, I recommend that they use a higher lofted wedge. So I use a 58 in my bag. You can see here it's a 58 degree, and 58 for me is pretty ideal for most chip shots. If I want to hit it low, I can deal off the face and come in and hit the ball a little bit lower. If I want to hit it high, I can open up the blade and try and send the ball super high. So it's efficient for both styles. So for me, when I'm practicing and when I'm teaching, I recommend that you use a higher lofted wedge. And if you get good at this particular wedge, then your game is going to take off around the greens and you're going to have a much easier time learning how to chip the ball close to the hole. Super important there. Another obvious benefit that you get from playing a more forgiving wedge style, such as the Glide 4.0 from Ping, is that when you mishit it, the ball's still going to have enough ball speed and you're going to end up somewhere near your target that you picked out around the greens. That's a huge benefit, in my opinion, with this wedge particularly, because I can mishit it slightly on the heel or slightly on the toe, and the ball's still going to come out with a relatively consistent ball speed and end up where I wanted it to go. Huge part of me choosing this wedge style. As far as the shaft is concerned, I got it stock. I got a nip and shaft in there, and it's worked wonders. I have no issues with this one whatsoever. You can go in and get customized for your shaft in your wedges. I didn't have to do it. I just liked this one. It felt good right from the start, so I just kept it in there. One of the major benefits that I found when I started using this wedge was I didn't lose any spin around the greens, and I think this has a lot to do with the coating on the front. It really grabs the ball, and I don't lose any spin around the greens, which is great. Now, one of the things that I want to point out is, depending on your skill level, you can play the pro version. It's a little bit more unforgiving, and when you mishit the center of the face, you are going to have some decline in ball speed, and that's one of the things that I don't really like with the pro version. The normal Glide 4.0 version to me is more beneficial for most people's game because you can just start hitting the ball a little bit off center and you're still going to get that consistent strike and the ball's going to land where you are aiming. and the ball's going to end up going closer to the hole. So if you have a really high skill level and you're hitting the ball in the center of the face all the time, yeah, you can go ahead and play the pro version. That's no problem. But for me personally, I want to have that consistent ball speed coming off the face even if I slightly mishit it. Because the thing is, even at the pro level, pros mishit the ball. And if you're having a bad day and you're mishitting your chip shots around the greens, it can really wreak havoc on your game. So for me, playing a more forgiving wedge style, such as the Glide 4.0 from Ping, gives you the best chance at getting the ball close to the hole. You're still going to generate that high spin rate when you need to. You can hit it low, you can hit it mid-flight, and you can hit it high, and you're not going to lose any spin. And it's just going to be easier for you to get the ball closer to the hole, because when you do mishit the ball's still going to take off at a relatively consistent ball speed, and you're going to be able to hit your targets much easier. And that's going to give you the ability to score lower, because you're going to be hitting the ball closer to the hole on average, versus if you were playing the pro version and you slightly were mishitting it on a particular day and the ball wasn't going where you wanted it to go. So that's it for today, guys. That's my little review on the Glide 4.0 from Ping. I think this is the best wedge on the market today. I don't think that recreational players should be playing unforgiving wedges. It just makes the game harder on yourself. So when you're going to buy a new wedge, go give this one a shot, because I'm telling you, after a few hits, you're not going to be disappointed.